So I'll introduce step number 4. On step number 4, I want us to focus a little bit more on selection, which are somehow already covered previously so that you understand it clearly. So when you say selection, so we need to select. So what are we selecting? Are we selecting tables on the previous one, or are we selecting chairs? So it's always better because you are not running out of time, because you are making this to be fun. As it becomes fun, what is it that you really want here? So I might say I want tables, but at the end of the day, really the tables, they don't give me what I want. So what I'll do, I'll just put 2 here so that at least I have a choice. So maybe the tables which I wanted to do, they're not so really good looking. Let me put it like that. So, but maybe the chair is actually having some interesting stuff. So on these topics, after I've selected this, because stage number 4 is about what? Selection. So sorry, I didn't put the word selection there. Selection. Okay? So that you already know we are on what stage. Stage number 4, which is selection. So on the tables, this is where now I want you to start now doing or drawing all the chairs you know about the office or whatever the furniture. So remember now, on this, if we are talking about a chair, we can reverse and say, no, a chair is actually a furniture. And we can actually trace where we are coming from because we already have a direction, we already have a branches. So now we need to select what type of chairs are we going to do or what type of tables are we going to do. So in that case, one is in a position to say, now I have actually, a direction to say, I'm going to only deal with chairs. Let's say, for instance, chairs. So we can now start to illustrate chairs which you find in the office. Not only in the office, at the end of the day, sometimes, we can bring any furniture to the office or any furniture or any chairs to anywhere. So this is where I want you to start now illustrating. Maybe this is a stool, So this will be a stool. So bear with me. So when I draw on paper, it's much more better than, on the board because the board is a little bit slippery. So let's say now, okay, what else? Maybe the sofa. So this will be our sofa. So this one now, it starts to become what? More illustrations. It starts to become more illustrations. So let's say this is my sofa now, So we illustrate. When you illustrate, it's like you just sketch. So it's the sketching stages. So some of the chairs, they're round, but maybe, with one little swing there, but then they start to maybe have, these are rolling chairs, you see? So from that stage, you start now to say, but which chairs am I looking at? It looks like there are so many chairs. Am I looking at 4-legged chairs? Am I looking at maybe whereby it's just one platform, something circular, So then it's a chair. So there are still swing chairs, isn't it? At the end of the day. So, but what is my focal point? I'm looking at chairs which maybe this can also be a chair, whereby it has a small little backrest. Some of the chairs, as we go on, you realize that some of the chairs, they have armrest, So am I doing a chair which is having an armrest or not? See, so this will be my sketch of an armrest. So this is my armrest, where one needs to kind of like, relax. So then I have my legs there. I have my legs there. So this is where I'm going to be able to sit, isn't it? So this is a little bit more an illustration for you to understand exactly what is happening. So I want you to start to focus. Once you start to look I'm looking at the chairs. Which chairs am I looking really at? Am I looking at the chairs with the armrest? Am I looking at the chairs which are swinging around but with no legs? Am I looking at the chairs which are swinging around but with wheels? Or am I looking at the sofas and so forth? So this will be what the sketches. And what I want you to understand about sketches is like that. I'll introduce it on the step number 5 so that you actually know what is the difference between a sketch and a drawing. So that will be on the next step. But for now, illustrate all the ideas which comes into your head, anything. And also remember that when you are illustrating, because remember, I'm dealing with the chairs. I will be like, look around yourself. Look at who's sitting where. Even yourself, where are you sitting at? and illustrate whatever you can come from there. You can even start to imagine certain chairs. So at the end of the day, you might even have chairs which are already like, swinging, isn't it? Which are having a pendulum, chairs with pendulums, they're just hanging from there. So maybe supported by something from there. So this becomes the base, isn't it? Maybe from a certain hook of the roof, isn't it? So how many chairs are we having? You realize that we have plenty of chairs. And some of even the benches. Benches are also what? They are chairs, isn't it? Benches are also chairs, so anything to sit on. It can be made out of wood. It can be made out of any other platform. It can be the street, bench, where maybe it's made out of, wood, but then that wood needs to be, something of that nature, isn't it? Maybe this is our street chair or bench. So something of that nature. But here is the stage where you start to illustrate anything which you are having in mind. So meaning that what? This is our visual selection. We already have a direction. We are now have. So when I introduce now to the final one, now I need to choose which one am I going to focus on. So I want us to select before we jump into the next stage. The next stage or the next step, which is step number 5, we need to be already having selected, because this is where now we need to select. But we cannot select without illustrating what we are having here. So let's say, for instance, I'm going to take this one as my first selection. Let's say selection number 1. Okay? So, and maybe this as my number 2 priority. And maybe let's say which one? Probably this as number 3. Okay? So keep in mind that, I'm going to have an armrest chair, which I need to now illustrate or sketch fully on its own without now the rest. These are just like 3-4 second sketches whereby it's just to give you ideas. So now you'll be able to take 1, 2, 3 into a little bit advanced stage. What is that advanced stage? Whereby you observe the chair or you observe exactly what you are doing, but also on a sketch. So I'll differentiate that. So this will be my focal point. So meaning that, let me just put this other 3 here so that we know it will be a stool, which we need to, I think I'm spelling it right. It's not the other medical stool. So this is the stool now to sit on, the one you're actually using there. So, and the armrest. And then the next one is what? The swinging one, the one with a center of gravity, whereby it's just single center of gravity. This one here, okay? So these are now my 1, 2, 3 choices whereby I'm going to focus on. So now step number 4 just ends here, but as long as you are satisfied with what you want to come up with on illustrative form, don't think of something which is too fancy and too drawn. That goes onto step number 5, whereby now you focus on only 3, where you now start to observe.